Let's learn how to create these kind of fun title in After Effects. It's very simple and very easy. You can learn a lot of technique in After Effects. So let's create. On After Effects, create a new composition and you can change the name and change the height and width and duration, everything. Anyway, we already discussed this thing many times. Anyway, create a new text. So just type anything. I just start with typo and you can change the text properties from here. Yeah, you can change the font. Anyway, I already added this font in description link. You can download from description and change the align into the center of the composition. Now you have to add a mask, so go to pen tool and select the text layer and create a shape like this, the straight line. So it's a mask right now, and add a anchor point in the center of this and move a little bit up like this. Now you have to convert this into bezier, something like this. Means actually we are trying to create a curve. So now it's a mask right now, something. Now go to text and drop down the text properties, and here you can see path option. Change the path into mask 1. Now you can see if you are select this ending point, hold the shift key for select both key, and if you move, see this text align to this path. So right now we need little bit curvy text, that's why we created like this. Anyway, we are done. We got a little curvy text. Now you have to pre-compose this text layer, because in case if you want to change, so because before that add a scale animator and go to the range selector. You can add selector, and by expression you can add expression, because we can delete this range selector one. We need only expression selector. Now here you have to add one expression. You can download this expression or you can check out my comment box. So okay, you have to just copy paste this expression. So select the complete expression and copy, Control C, and here hold alt key and click, then Control V. You can paste the expression here. See, nothing will happen because you have to change the scale value into 0. Now just watch, see the ending animation, because this script is the end animation. To create the starting animation, you can just right click and Control D. You can just select the animation and duplicate. Now go to the expression and expression amount. In here you have to change some values. Here you can see out point minus time. Instead of this, just change into time minus is a starting. So time space minus space in point. See, look at that, P is capital. So just change into that. That's it. So you will get the starting animation and ending animation also. Look at this. It's very simple. So anyway, we are done with the text basic animation. Now we have to create a lot of effects. So before, you have to add one stroke color for this one. So add a stroke color and change the stroke width into 55. And if you are changing the color, fill color into something different, so just yellow color, you can copy paste. You can use the eyedropper from this image. I already attached this image also. So anyway, the stroke value into, I think, yeah, 20, 25, 15. I think 20 is better. Yeah. Anyway, we are done with the basic setup. Now you have to pre-compose this text. So select the text, right click and pre-compose. Control Shift C is the shortcut. You can change the composition name into text. Yeah, because in case if you want to change the text after creating the old effect, you can change anytime your text, like double click and type your text. Anyway, I back to type on again. Anyway, go to our main composition and here you can see the text pre-compose. Now you have to add some properties to these pre-compose. So before we have to create a backup. So just press Ctrl D for duplicate these pre-compose, and you can change the name into base. Sorry, yeah, base, and press enter for, you can hide that layer. This is our main layer because that just for backup only, because we have to create, we have to duplicate again and again. Anyway, now we have to separate this fill and stroke. So right click and you can rename. Enter is the shortcut. First you have to create only yellow color, so just rename into yellow texture, whatever you want. Anyway, now you have to apply one FX. Go to FX, keying and key light 1.2. So it's a basic default plugin, you don't need to install anything. And here select the violet color, so they will automatically delete that violet. I mean, it's keying, that's why. So now you will get yellow separately. Look at here, only yellow color, stroke is nothing is there. Now you can change the layer style and you can add a gradient overlay into this yellow, and yeah, gradient overlay and drop down and gradient colors, edit gradient. Here you can change the color, so dark color. Here you need the same yellow color. You can copy, you can use the eyedropper from the image. And here little orange color, not yellow but little darker orange. You can feel the difference, some fall off. Now we are done. Now we have to create the stroke, the outline. So yeah, you can duplicate the base again and unhide this one. See here, we already created. You can change the name into border or something, violet. Anyway, see, look at this. Now the border only visible. You can add any, you can add fill color. So sorry, FX, generate fill, and change the fill color into this violet. You can use eyedropper. See, now yellow, because now border is separate, yellow color is separate. That's we did right now here. Now let's add some texture into this yellow color. So go to ellipse tool. So we have to create a small circle, very small. We have to reduce the stroke value into 0 and change the fill color into white. I can add the stroke, you can remove the stroke anyway. Now change the anchor point into center. Now yeah, we already created the small circle. Now you have to copy the circle. So there is an option to copy the circle. So if you can change the, just press the enter, you can rename the layer name. You can change the name into grid and drop down, add a repeater, so you can copy this circle. Yeah, it's a cloner actually, so you can copy into 50 or 40 and change the offset into half of the copies. If you are setting the copies 40, then offset into minus 20, sorry. If the copy is 40, then offset has to be the minus value of the half amount. So anyway, done. And you can change the position into, I think, yeah, 50. I think 50 is better, or 56. Now you have to add another repeater for the same shapes. So here you can change the transform value into y-axis, so make it 0 the first value, then second value into the same value in repeater 1. Look at here, see, it's 56. I think 50 is better, so same value here, 50. So you will get the grid, that's why. Now you can change the copy into 40 and offset into minus 20. Now change the dot into alignment into the center. Now anyway, we almost done. Now you can choose this grid as a background pattern, and we have to use the same grid in the texture of this text. So anyway, just duplicate, and one grid, I just hide the top grid, and the bottom grid has to be yeah, you can change the ellipse path and size into 3. So here we need very small dots, so that's why, for the background. And create a new solid and create an orange color background. You can change the name into BG or something. Anyway, I didn't change. See, here you can see the small dots here, so it will, I think you can rotate this into 45. Yeah, we are done with the background also. You can change the opacity of the grid. If you press the T on the keyboard, you will get the opacity value. Anyway, just lock that layer, those both layers. Anyway, here the main grid, so we have to create a texture for the text. That's why I have to increase the circle size, and I have to adjust the position. Yeah, anyway, I had to adjust the position of these dots. So we already done with the background dots. Now we are creating dots for the textures. That's why we have to adjust the position. Yeah, see, size into a little smaller, and position, I think we have to add a little bit more. No, the same value here, or yeah, now just increase the width. So not here, sorry. Actually it's not necessary, but yeah, Control Z, and yeah, we have to just increase the repeater ones count and minus 50. That's it. Anyway, we are done with the grid. Now we have to mask this grid into this text, so just duplicate, Control D the yellow textures, and right now we are using as a mask, so you can rename into text mask, mask underscore yellow text, white text. Now select the grid and change toggle switches and change the trackman into alpha matte. Now here the dots only visible through that yellow text, that's why we did like this. Now you can change the blending mode into soft light. It will add little realism, and you can change the opacity into 70%, and you can change the grid color into yellow or a little. I think yellow is not working. Yeah, I think yellow is better. Anyway, we are done with the basic texture. Now we have to add 3D depth and some extra effects. That's it. Now select the border yellow texture and control D for duplicate. Sorry, control, yeah, before using, you can just change into the yellow only, and control D, duplicate the yellow, and you can change the name into red shadow, because we have to create a small shadow here. Actually, see, here is a separate. Now I just move the red composition into top of the layer, because only for the adjustments only. Later we'll bring into down, but to create this shadow we had to bring into top of the layer. That's why. Anyway, apply the CC radial blur and change the type into fading zoom, and change the amount into, because we need a shadow, so amount into minus, it has to be a minus value. Minus 20 is better here. See, look at here, just solo the layer, you can see what happening here. Now you can change the center value into here. Yeah, this work. Anyway, now and go to, I think, color correction and add curves, and change the curve channel value into alpha, and add a point here and move into here, like this. See, you can change that feather into the solid color. That's why we are using this technique. This is really nice technique. You can create a 3D depth very quickly and very simple. See, now you have to add a fill. It has to be a red color. Now you have to remove these yellow layer style. Just delete the layer style. Now look at this. You got a 3D depth red color text. Uh, Now you have to, you can change the amount. You can increase the 3D depths from here using the amount value. Anyway, yeah, just bring down this layer into under the yellow. I think if you click here, then you will get the layer name. Okay, I think under the yellow layer. Now I think, yeah, this is fine. See, look at this, it's almost fine. Actually, it's not a compulsory, but it's a small detailing. That's why. Anyway, just duplicate the same red one and change the name into violet, because we had to create another shadow. That's why. So violet, and you can bring down under the red one, and you can change the fill color from red to dark violet. You can change the violet into little darker. Now you have to change the uh, 3D depth position, so just bring the CC radial blur position, something like this. Now you can create the shadow from shadow left to left of the text is red, to right is dark violet, or you can use reverse also, means right is red, left is violet. That's up to you. Anyway, yeah, we are uh, I think this is better. In top direction, different direction is better, I think, instead of left and right. Now we are done with that shadow. Now we have to create the main depth, so just duplicate the border, and you can change the name into white line, bring to the top of this top of layer, and apply another key light. Now just remove the violet colors, and here you can see the screen mat, and replace the color into white color because we need a white border, that's why. And change that replace method into hard color. Now when you increase the screen shrink, so we have to remove that fill color and change the screen color into yellow. Now yeah, you have to just increase the screen shrink and grow value. I think 3.7 is, yeah, it's perfect. Now we already created the white line also. Now just use the base, because we at the beginning we created base text. You can use the same base. Now just unhide the layer and apply the CC radial blur again, and change the value into fading zoom and amount into minus yeah, minus 100, minus, anyway it has to be a big amount because it's the main 3D depth. And add another curves, and change the curve channel value into alpha and create a curve something like this. You can see the output in your screen in the composition window. Yeah, see, you can increase the amount how much you want. See, I think minus 44 is better. Now you have to add a fill color, generate fill, and it has to be a darker violet. That's it, we are done. Now yeah, you can make it a little darker. No, don't change the position. And you can move this white line into under the text mask. I think under the yellow, that's better, because the texture, the dot texture layer has to be in top, that's why. See, I think under the violet shadow, that's better. Anyway, you had to add another layer shell for this one. Right click and layer shell and add a drop shadow. So if you drop down, you will get the drop shadow values, and change the distance and change the angle into, see, 90 degree, and increase the size to get the softer. I think you have to change the color into little darker orange, and you can decrease the distance value, that's it. So just play the animation, you'll get the nice fun movie title or nice fun animated typography. So hope you enjoyed, and create in a different style or different colors. And when you are done, just tag me in Instagram. So thank you.